She is the exemplar of the interior soul. I don't speak of Our Lady explicitly in the actual text, but if you consider who and what she is the very model of interiority. I think St. Augustine said it best when he said that before Our Lady conceived the Word in her womb, she'd already conceived the Word in her mind. And you can have no better concept of an interior soul than that. My talk today will be a brief elucidation of the following thesis. The comprehensive and adequate grand strategy for today's Catholic counter-revolutionary is the acquisition and preservation of sanctity, both for himself as an individual and for all those whom he can influence. First, some definitions are in order. Blessed Columba Marmion says this of sanctity, which we will make our definition. The whole of our sanctity consists in imitating Christ Jesus, in conforming the whole of ourselves to the Son of God, in participating in his divine sonship, to be through grace what Jesus is by nature. This is the end purpose of our predestination and the norm of our holiness. So we can define sanctity as to be through grace what Jesus is by nature, namely sons of God. Don Marmion says that God's holiness consists in a love of his own goodness. That's God's holiness, loving his own goodness. A most just, fitting, and proper love of his own goodness. Human sanctity consists in a participation in this. For men, holiness has a negative aspect of turning away from corruption and evil, and a positive aspect of union with God. But all this is summed up in conforming the whole of ourselves to the Son of God and being through grace what Jesus is by nature. For my purposes, I will define counter-revolutionary as of or pertaining to the restoration of a pre-revolutionary state of affairs. In our thought here at St. Benedict Center, a revolution and things revolutionary are necessarily bad. The French and the Russian revolutions are the notable historical examples that clearly illustrate the evil of revolutions. But revolution as a spiritual phenomenon predates these. It is seen in the ideas of Freemasonry, in the Enlightenment, in Protestantism, in the Renaissance rejection of medieval Christian civilization, indeed in the very fall of man itself, and in that earlier fall of Lucifer and his rebel angels. As for grand strategy, Colin Gray, in his 2007 book, War, Peace, and International Relations, An Introduction to Strategic History, says that it comprises, quote, the purposeful employment of all instruments of power available to a security community.